One.
Hi, this is Dan at the Ontario Regiment Museum, and we're carrying on with a little bit about the weapons at the museum. I've got Dave Connor here, who is a long-time volunteer, fantastic guy, millwright, among other things in his real life. And I wanted him to take a look at these weapons and talk to me about how easy they are to manufacture. Dave?
So, right off the bat, you can compare just the fit and finish and the quality of the two different firearms here. And the fit and finish on this is extraordinary, and the fit and finish on this is nothing but functional. So unless somebody was going to cut themselves in a weld or a corner, they never even bother with it, they just punch them out. When you look at the machining and the surface finish on this and around here, this was done by a very skilled and experienced tradesperson. So that, and very expensive. So the cost for these was like, astronomical difference between the two of them for cost. The other thing, when you look at this here, the way that it's made here, and you can easily see it, is that it was spot welded together. Spot welded here, and spot welded on the magazine. The magazine was spot welded with nice, flat surfaces. This has how long did it take to make those strengthening grooves in there? For what purpose? And the same with this is welding, that's gas welding. You could take unskilled laborers, and other than this part here and this part here that require like really big machining, everything else really is cottage industry. To the point where they would hand a person in Canada, in Toronto, if you had a hobby lathe at home, they would give you bar stock and a drawing, and they would hand it to you, and they would say, okay, when we come back on Friday, we want a bin of these. If you don't do it, we're going to confiscate your lathe. All the lathes and machine tools that were in private hands were numbered and labeled, and you had to report them, because everything had to go to the war effort. And that is like really cottage industry. And yeah, and even the springs, anybody can do those at home. They just have a big wire thing, and you put it on a manual and run it around. But when you look at the way that the Germans did it, just everything is just when you look at this, there's a turn taper on here. Now, once a machine is set up to do it, it'll do it fine. But the problem is you have to have a skilled tradesman again to monitor all this. So the difference, how many of these do you get for the price of one of those? Comes down, I hate to say it, money.
And of course, time. And when you're fighting a war, both these weapons did the exact same thing, fired a 9mm round downrange. But if you can only make so many, the whole point in a mass war, in a world war, is to get as many weapons out as possible in as many hands. This is the winner. Thank you. Dave, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.